Hi, friends, and welcome back to Elevate with Erica. I am so glad that you're here because today's episode is a heart to heart. It's a bit of a behind the scenes peek at what happens when you say yes, even when you're scared, even when you're unsure or totally feeling unqualified, and how that yes can flip your entire life upside down in the most beautiful, unexpected way. Because let me tell you something right out of the gate. I didn't say yes to a perfectly laid out opportunity last October. I said yes to a gut feeling, a loud, crazy, what the heck am I doing kind of nudge. Maybe you've had one of those too. And I've never been more grateful that I said yes. So, this episode is inspired by wins that are happening in my life right now because of a yes that I said back in October of 2024. A yes to a company called Make Wellness. And listen, this wasn't a calculated business move. This wasn't part of a master plan. This was a blindfold on, leap of faith, holding my breath kind of decision. And I didn't even know if I'd like the products. I definitely didn't know what peptides were, and I had no clue what I was getting myself into. But I felt a pull, and I've learned now that when I feel the pull, I gotta go. So, if you've been following me for a while, that I've been throwing darts. I've been chasing every nudge I've felt to try something. That's what this episode is about. That's how I want to inspire you guys today. It's about not waiting until everything's lined up perfectly. It's about taking messy action. You've been working on something. I want you to stop working on perfecting it and just go for it. You've been holding back. I want you to stop holding back for the right time and take the step because you'll never feel 100% ready. Do it anyway. You don't have to see the whole staircase, right? Just take the first step. And it makes the next step that much clearer, and the next step, and so forth. So, listen, some nudges I've had in my life. I said yes to becoming an HR director for a local county. I said yes to the body coaching opportunity. I said yes to starting this podcast. I said yes to start aligning with brands and affiliating. I said yes to a blog. I said yes to building my own website. I said yes to publishing my own journal. I said yes to a personal training certification. And I said yes to start teaching group fitness classes. All of those were just nudges. I didn't know how they were going to pan out. If you've been here a while, you know how some of them did. And then in October of 2024, I said a big scary yes to partnering with a brand new peptide company that hadn't even launched yet. Why? Because the nudge wasn't a whisper this time. It wasn't even much of a nudge. It was a hell yes. And I didn't really know why. And so that's what made it a scary yes. I spent $500 to order every product that they had because that's the kind of affiliate I am with any brand that I'm utilizing. I want to know that I really like the company first, like who's leading this company and what they're selling before I'm going to align with them and recommend this to anyone else. So I spent $500 to order every single product that they had in this beautiful founders box before they had even entered into a pre-launch phase, right? Before like anyone could just go online and buy products. I had no clue how they would work. I had no game plan. I didn't even tell my husband what I was doing because how could I? I was already pouring money into a legal battle I was in to protect my boys. I had just found out that my 1,000 person customer base with the body platform that I had built over the course of about 5 years was going to be taken from me. And so everything felt very uncertain. And so now I'm going to go tell my husband that I sent $500 to a company that he's never heard of based on some feeling. You probably should do that, just so you guys know. But no, I didn't. I kept quiet. I'm not telling you to lie to your spouses, but I did. I kept quiet and I laid the founder's box out on the dining room table and I waited for the questions that I hoped wouldn't come. And you know what? He didn't ask any, but I know that he wondered. And I really think the only reason he didn't ask is because he didn't want to know the answer, right? That wild yes, that faith fueled, logic defying yes, it became one of the best yeses of our entire life. And not every yes is going to feel like that, right? Obviously, we know how my yes to being HR director for the local county turned out, right? That ended up not being my destiny at all. It ended up making me realize that I wanted to change my career path entirely. It showed me though that I needed to keep searching. And so I'm glad that I had that yes because I tried it, right? I did the thing and it put me in the position to realize that my purpose was in another direction. So I'm still very grateful for that season of my life. It uncovered where I'm supposed to be. And one thing I have to tell you is that I didn't know how I was going to explain peptides to people. And I hope you can relate this to whatever it is that you're holding yourself back on because you think you don't know it all yet. I didn't know how I was going to explain peptides to people. I had just Googled the word myself. I didn't know our founder. I didn't know if I'd be good at sharing this new story. But here's the truth. No one knows what they're doing. You know, nobody knows what they're doing. Not the people with degrees, not the ones with big job titles, not the Instagram influencers with perfect highlight reels. We're all just trying loudly. Some people trying a little louder than others, right? Failing loudly and trying again. And I want you to do that same thing. I remember when I started this podcast, I had this idea that I was going to make it happen. And within 3 months, it was happening. I didn't have an assistant. I didn't know which mic to buy. This is not even my original mic. I didn't know how I was going to record. I didn't know how to use the editing software. I didn't know who my podcast host was going to be or how I was going to get it into the podcast host or how the podcast host then pushes it out to all of these channels like Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all of these things. I did not know anything, you guys. I didn't know anything, but you know how I learned? By just taking the first step. And then I took the next step and then the next one and then the next one. Because you know what? No one knew what they were doing when they first started their podcast too. And so, yes, maybe my first episode is kind of cringy, right? But that's how I got to where I am today. And I'm still learning, honestly. I'm still learning. I'm still doing this without somebody editing my things for me or working on graphics and promoting this podcast. I don't have some big sponsor, right? It's still just me, but I love doing this. I love reaching out to people authentically. I love inspiring others through my own ups and downs, right? And so I just want you to start trying a little louder and being willing to fail a little louder. And listen, I know how scary it is to take a new step when people around you don't get it. I know what it feels like to worry what your husband, your aunt, your bestie, your followers are going to think about you. My husband, I've shared this here before. This is not news to many of you. My husband is a very traditional kind of person, as in, when I left that HR director job working for the government in 2020 during the pandemic, trying to figure out how I was going to be with my kids on digital learning. Well, he's off at work, right? Trying to figure out how I'm going to be home with my kids on digital learning during my shared custody time with them. We have 50-50 custody. I do with their dad. And also run this department on my own from home because that's the position that I was put in um, with the county that I was working for. How in the heck was I supposed to make this happen? Right? And so and I'm grateful. That's one of those, and I'll get to this later. I'll get to this in just a minute. It's one of those storms that's not meant to destroy you. It's meant to redirect you, right? And that's exactly what I think the pandemic did in my life because it made me finally realize, you know what? This isn't even what I want to be doing with my life. And so it redirected me to start figuring out how to make ends meet a different way, right? And it took me 5 years to make those ends meet a different way. And I'll get to that later in the episode. But I knew I had to go do something else. And so my husband, he's, this has always just been kind of a gut, like a knowing within me. I've always felt a sense of disappointment since I left that job. He's very traditional. He wants like the 9 to 5, and then you just do your, like, I don't know, most 25, 30-year retirement, right? And then you just do the very traditional things, right? All the way up. And that's not how I am at all. I'm more of a free bird. Um, and so on top of that, he also, like many people, is like skeptical of network marketing things. A lot of people just don't understand it, that we're just salespeople like anyone else, selling things that we're hopefully passionate about, right? Like, I'm glad I'm not selling cars. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to work at a dealership. I wouldn't want to be an insurance salesman, not for me. I wouldn't want to sell, like makeup. Like that wouldn't get me up out of bed in the morning. But I get to sell things that I'm passionate about. First, I was aligned with a body and I still am, but I'm now aligned with make in a bigger capacity. But that body platform changed my life back in 2016 when it gave me a place to be able to work out from home while my kids were little and I'm sharing custody and I'm running this government department. That's why I could take care of myself. That's why I love that platform, regardless of how things unfolded last year. I love that platform. It changed my life. And now I found these peptides that have me feeling better than I have in years. And now my husband is taking them and he is feeling better than he has in years. And I am getting testimonial after testimonial of people who are just, it's changing lives, you guys. So I get to sell something that I'm passionate about, and people don't even understand what I'm doing. And some people just want to criticize it because it's network marketing. And they always will. And it's not up to me to have to change their mind. I'm not trying to convince them. I'm trying to help people that want to be helped. So I share this with you because I know what it feels like to worry about what other people think about you. I got all kinds of eyes when I left that government job. But you'll never be able to control how others see you. And it's not your life if you're spending it worried about what other people think. The only thing you can control is how much energy you spend trying to control what they think about you. So I want you to choose your peace over anyone's perception of you and just start saying yes to more things. I realized that storm, the collapse of body, wasn't there to destroy me. It was there to clear my path for this, for another way, and the next step in how I'm going to help impact people on their health and wellness journey. And I get to do it with a nature-derived approach. And that perfectly aligns with me. And if that hadn't happened with body, I never would have been over here with make, right? That storm, that week, thank gosh, it was only a week, where when I realized that, oh, this isn't a good thing, they're going to take my customers. That week where I was like, oh my gosh, I might have to go back to a 9 to 5, and I got to figure out how I'm going to get my kids to and from school again when they're a town over, 3 towns over. But I never spoke that out loud. Thank gosh. I only had to think that for a week until I got to say yes to my next thing. So I want to ask you a few questions. Are you used to the life you're living? Are you so used to this life that you're living right now, right? Like you just know what's going to happen today and tomorrow and the next day, and you know what's going to happen 10 years from now. You'll just be a little bit older, right? Are you so used to the life that you're living that you've stopped dreaming of anything else? Because my life looks totally different than it did 10 years ago. It doesn't mean that my life wasn't good 10 years ago, but I didn't have to stay stuck there, right? Like we get to keep growing and transforming, and that's what makes life so amazing. And I want my kids to have the freedom to do that for their own lives. And it's up to me to show them what that looks like. Do you hear about opportunities and think, that's for them, not me? Oh, good for her, good for him. Do you believe you've already done all you're going to do in this lifetime? Let me shake that up today. At any moment, you can change. People can give you side eye, cross eye, whatever kind of, right? It doesn't matter. You can say yes to whatever you want to say yes to. And then you just get to say, F it, I'll figure it out. That's the phrase that I live by now. That's your new post-it for your mirror, guys. If you've been following me for a little while, I think the last one we put up there was, what if it turns out really freaking well? That's how I got myself through my year last year. You get to say, F it, I'll figure it out. And that is the phrase that I want you to live by because you don't have to know every detail. You don't have to have a 10-year plan. You just need the courage to say yes and the grit to figure it all out along the way. It was not easy to start from scratch with Make Wellness. No. Did I doubt myself? Yes. Did I have a mountain to climb? Absolutely. But you know what? That mountain will soon be behind me. The person that I become on the way up, that's the whole point of the mountain. All the nudges I've followed, all the mess, all the imperfect steps, they've led me here to a place where I could say yes to something that's now changing my family's future. Some mountains exist just to get you in the position for the right yes, right? Like it was a mountain when I started Body also. But that mountain got me in the position to say yes to this, the thing that is changing my family's life. I know you're busy. We're all busy. But if busy is the thing standing between you and your dreams, you're letting busy win. So don't let busy keep you stuck in a life that doesn't light you up. I want you to be busy, loving your freaking life. And that is possible. That's available, but only if you start saying yes. So before I wrap up, I have to say this. Today, the day this episode airs, is the final day to join my team at Make Wellness as a founding affiliate. What does that mean? It just means that you got in early with me. It means that you can unlock founders bonuses through March 31st, 2026. If you sign up on April 1st, you can do that, right? So if you sign up with me before March 31st, 2025, you can earn those bonuses through March 31st, 2026. If you try the products and you feel called to share that link, it's available to you. No pressure, no minimum purchase requirements, no sign up fee, no weird requirements, okay? Just a powerful yes waiting for you if it feels aligned. This was the yes that has me and my husband dreaming together for the first time in our lives. Because we're very different. Like I said, I'm more of a free bird. He's more of a traditionalist. This has made us both free birds. We have freedom now. He's not just supporting me now. He's in it. He's loving the products. He's feeling better with these bioactive peptides. And after coming with me to our very first company conference this month, he's seen the vision. Our team did $1 million in sales this March alone. Just our team. This company is the fastest growing network marketing company in history. And most of the people on this team, they've never done anything like this before. but they said yes. And now they're changing their lives. So if you're even thinking about it, say yes. And I'll drop the link in my show notes, or you can reach out to me on social. I'm an open book about this business. And as you can see, I'm slightly passionate about it. So, friend, I love you. I'm rooting for you. And I want more yeses in your life. More F it, I'll figure it out. More why not me? More action over analysis, more messy steps, more freedom, more joy. Remember this. Your success is directly proportional to the number of times that you decide to say yes, even when you're scared. You've got this, and I've got you. Until next time, friends. E. Hey there, friends. I'm excited to share something that's been a game changer for my health and wellness journey. Like we have elevated, friends. Make Wellness Bioactive Precision Peptides. Now, if you're wondering, what are bioactive peptides? Let me break it down for you. These are the cutting edge supplements designed to support your body from the inside out. And we are the first company to introduce bioactive precision peptides to the market. They are totally sourced from nature, which is why they don't have to be injected like synthetic peptides. Because they are sourced from nature, they can survive in the digestive tract and work their magic. Seriously, it feels like magic. So whether you're looking to improve your energy, tackle your to-dos like a ninja with better focus, get better sleep, build more lean muscle mass, lose fat, promote radiant skin, or just feel your absolute best overall, then these peptides are going to help you level up. Here's the best part. Make Wellness takes the guesswork out of supplementation. Their formulas are backed by science and precision crafted to give you exactly what your body needs. No fluff, no fillers, just real results. Backed by billions of dollars in research and over 9 years in human clinical trials. And guess what? You can grab these life-enhancing peptides directly through me. To learn more or place an order, just head to the link in the show notes or to my Instagram channel, Peptides Restock, where I'm giving you the inside scoop on all the products, restocks, and the amazing testimonials coming in daily. I'll guide you through the options and help you choose what fits your goals best. Head over to my Instagram at Miss Erica Renee and click on that Peptides Restock channel. Let's elevate together with Make Wellness because you deserve to feel unstoppable. So don't wait. Reach out today and let's start this journey toward a stronger, healthier, elevated you.